Circumambulation of Mount Tamalpais. Maculas of light fallen weightless from pores in the canopy, our senses part of the wheeling life around us, and through an undergrowth stoked with the unseen go the reverberations of our steps. As we hike upward, mist holds the butterscotch taste of Jeffrey pine to the air, until we reach a serpentine barren, red bud lilac and open sky, a crust of frost on low-lying clumps of manzanita. At Redwood Creek, 2 tandem runners cross a wooden bridge over the stream ahead of us, the raspy check, check, check of a scrub jay. Hewing to the Dipsia path while a plain's slow groan diminishes bayward, my sweat-wet shirt going cool around my torso as another runner goes by, his cocked arms held too high. Cardiac Hill's granite boulders appear freshly sheared. Look, you say, I can see the Farallon Islands there, to the south, over those long-backed hills, one behind another, a crow honks. The moon still up over Douglas firs on the climb to Rock Spring. Yellow jackets and painted lady butterflies settle on the path where some underground trickle moistens the soil. I predict you'll keep to the shade of the laurels to nibble your 3 anchovy slices over cheese sandwich while I sprawl on a boulder in full sun, sucking a pear. The frass of caterpillars tinkles onto beds of dry leaves under the oaks, where a hawk alights with its retinue of raging crows. We are prey to the ache of not knowing what will be revealed as the world lunges forward to introduce itself. Clusters of tiny green dots, bitter oyster, line the black stick held in your hand, weak trees leaning into us as if we were part of the wet dark that sustains their roots under dead leaves and at armillaria. Since honey mushrooms suck from the soil chemicals that trigger a tree's defenses, they leach the tree's sap undetected, all the while secreting toxins to stave off competing species. But in the inseparable genetic mosaic of their thin root filaments, the identity of any singular species blurs among interactive populations, twice alive. Near the summit, a gleaming, slick-inside outcrop sanctifies the path, winding through a precinct of green schists whose lethal minerals sterilize the ground. The hum of some large insect immelmanning around our heads calls to mind, you tell me, the low drone of a Buddhist chant. But now we really hear chanting we can't decode. Don't be so rational. A congregate speech from the red trembling sprigs, a vascular language prior to our breathed language, corporeal, chemical, drawing our sound into its harmonic, tuning us to what we've not yet seen, the surround calling us, theoryless, toward an inference of horizontal connections, there at ground level, an incantation independent of us, but detectable, consummate, always resistant to us, but inciting our recognition of what it might mean to be here, among others, human and not. Here, home, where ours is another of the small voices taking us over ourselves, over into the nothing between, the out of sight of ourselves, a litany from spore-bearing mouths as hi-fi stretch their long necks and open their throats, opening a link between systems, a supersaturation of syntax, an arousal even as slow rolling walls of high-decibel sonar blow out the ears of whales, and fires burn uncontrolled, and slurry pits leak into the creek, etc., etc., femicides, war, righteous insistence, and still the lived sensation fits into the living sensorium. Can't you hear? Don't be so rational. The world inhale. Hear the call from elsewhere, which is just where we are. No, even closer, inside us, inside the blood pulse of our bodies, the bristle of our mosses, the embrace, and exhale.